morning, guys. So recently I saw an article going across social media where Talcum X, Sean King himself, is calling for the removal of images of Jesus Christ because he feels they're racist. I just wanted to clarify some points for Mr. King in regards to my Lord and Savior. Jesus Christ was probably the most selfless man that ever lived. He forgave every transgression against him with sincerity and earnest love for his fellow man. He spent his last hours on this earth praying for the salvation and atonement of every man, woman, and child who would ever live after him. He felt the suffering and anguish of their sin and pain while he did that. He literally bled from every pore in his body, taking on the sins of all of us. That is not the act of a racist, selfish man. That is the act of a man who loved you dearly, Mr. King, and always will. And frankly, how dare you question otherwise? Now, if you really want to know how to solve the racism problem, it's very simple. There is a phrase thrown around, facts don't care about your feelings, but no one ever explains the facts. So here they are for you. No one owes you anything. You don't owe anyone anything. Pure and simple. None of us are entitled to anything. Stop trying to find value in your life by living through someone else's tragedies. You are responsible for nothing that happened before you were born. None of us are. I have no guilt over what people who look like me did 100 years ago. None. Not a bit. I don't have guilt over what people who look like me did 5 years ago. No guilt. Sorry. None of us can change history. Erasing history is dumb. I've seen the argument that, it's in history books. Well, history books are rewritten every day. Victors write the history books. 20 million people think the Civil War was solely over slavery, when it was more over taxation and the import and export of goods than anything else. At the end of the day, once we acknowledge those simple points, it just comes down to, I'll judge you for the person you are and you judge me for the person I am. If I'm being an asshole, call me an asshole. If you're being an asshole, I'll tell you you're being an asshole. That's simple. It just doesn't do any further than that. Once we get that through our heads, then guess what happens? Racism disappears. That simple. As always, be decent to each other. We're all in this together. God bless.